Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. I have to share this with you. I just do. I'm in the middle of doing this Coldplay video slash David Cassidy, and I saw his demon. I was freaking out and stuff, and I mean, it really set me back. And so I walked away from the computer, and all of a sudden I just started thinking about my sister. And first I started thinking about my brother, and he's the oldest, and he really hurt me one day. And maybe one of you are going through this, or might be going, or know someone that is. But I had been in a car accident. It was storming, raining one morning, and I would get up at 6 in the morning, and I'd drive an hour and a half to my sister's, where her gym was. She'd work me out, and I'd drive an hour and a half home. Well, this one day it was raining, so as I get off to take the exit to the second freeway to get to her house, the traffic was stopped because the rain was really bad. So I'm stopped, and all of a sudden I look in my rear view mirror. The car behind me, she was looking at her phone. She was not watching, and she rear-ended me bad. And I was in an SUV, you guys. I was in a tank. My body flew forward. The radio popped out of the ejection area, and I mean, you can tell I was impacted. Well, anyway, I ended up going straight to the doctor, and he gave me some, what do you call it? It wasn't Norco, but it was similar to hydrocodone, right? And, for the pain, and, he just gave me a bottle of 250 pills. So then I wait about 3-4 days, and I go back to see him, and I said, well, what do I do now? Who do I go see? And he goes, oh, do you need more? He gave me another bottle of 240 pills or 250 pills. And I'm like, what the heck? Because I didn't take pills. You know, I hadn't drank in so long. And so I go home, and, you know, this went on for about 2 weeks. And I got fed up with it. And I told Charlie, I said, babe, I want to get better. I want to get fixed so I can keep working out, you know. The thing about that morning, Charlie didn't go to work that day. And my husband didn't miss work for nothing. But that day he did. And he stayed home, and because he stayed home, I didn't take Jeremy with me. We hadn't had him maybe a year, I guess. And normally he'd be in the back seat. Well, because Charlie stayed home, he kept Jeremy home. So that's the first thing, right? So when I got in the accident, I was injured, but Jeremy wasn't with me. Thank God, thank God, thank God. So anyway, that's important, okay? So anyway, I go on, so I find another doctor, and I told her the problem. I said, look, this doctor's giving me all these meds. I want to be fixed. Well, this doctor went the completely different route, and she would barely give me any. Like, you know, it was like, I'm in pain. I do need them. I just don't want to be shoved pills down my throat. I want to get help. Well, by now, between the two doctors, maybe a year's gone by, and I'm just getting fed up, right? So then finally I talked to the insurance people, and they said, well, try this doctor. So I went to see this doctor, and I explained to him everything, and he just looked at me and he goes, can I piss test you? And I said, yeah, because sometimes people just go to different doctors because some stop giving you meds, right? I said, I'll take a piss test every day. So he takes a test, and then I go in his office, and he says, well, you're clearly not, like, loaded on it. But he says, okay, I'll tell you what. I'm going to monitor you. We're going to set up surgery date, and da-da-da-da. So I saw him for about 8 months, I think. I had to go see him several times. And then the last time, he finally did the surgery on my back. And when he did the surgery, he said, okay. I told him, how long do I have to take this stuff? I don't want to be taking it anymore. And I said, this is when I'm starting to wake up and realizing, that we need to move out of California. All this is happening at the same time. I went through a lot during that time, y'all. So he said, all right. He said, well, I'll tell you what. After the surgery, we'll give you about 2 months to heal. And then when I give you your last bottle of pills, I will tell you it's time to wean off of it. And I said, that works for me. So he does the surgery. A couple months go by. I wean myself off of them. But during that time, you guys, my older brother came to live with us. They were having, financial problems and stuff. So we said, well, come live with us and get on your feet. Well, me and him ended up having an out because he wasn't actively looking for a job, and I had my catering company. I was working, I was bringing in a ton of money, and it's not that I didn't want to support him, but we didn't have a big home, first of all, and second of all, he's a grown man. He should provide a home for his wife. So me and him started battling back and forth just a little bit, not a lot. You know, it's just like, well, when are you gonna get a job? And you haven't even gone looking, and you know, well, one day after we got in a big fight. Well, not big fight. He did all the yelling. I usually don't yell back. I'll say some stuff, but I don't yell back. So, and I don't fight dirty. I don't call names. I don't degrade. I don't do that stuff. I just, just stare, kind of. Well, right after that, there was one point where he had said, I don't know what happened, but he said the words to me. He said, why don't you go pop a pill from your Pez dispenser? Because when he lived with me, I was taking those pills. And my heart was hurt so bad because I didn't do drugs. I stayed away from drugs. I did drink in my older years when my son went to Iraq, but I purposely stayed away from drugs. And I might add that I did try cocaine one time, and it was when I was with him and his buddies at his buddy's home, and he gave it to me. And I tried it, and I couldn't stand it because I kept scratching my nose, and it drove me nuts. I never did it again. So here he says this to me. So I was tore back. I was like, whoa. I could have went back at, says the coke addict. I could have said something like that, but that's not the kind of spirit I have. So I didn't say nothing like that. I just was like, what? I didn't even know what to say. I was shocked that my own brother would say something to me like that. Well, I don't know if any of you are going through that with a brother or sister. So anyway, right now I just doing the David Cassidy video or whatever, and I started thinking about what he had said and why that popped in my head. Well, thinking about what he said brought me back to the accident, brought me back to that day and how amazing the Father is, because I was going twice a week. I was working like crazy at my catering company, right? I was going to my sister's twice a week, an hour and a half there, hour and a half back, 3 hours on the road, there and back. But I was listening to the audio Bible, right? And I always had Jeremy in the back. Well, on this day, Jeremy wasn't with me. I get in an accident. I'm hurt, but I was fixable. But I couldn't work out with my sister for at least 6 months, right? So what did I do in the 6 months? Because I'm learning about God and everything. This is when all the crazy started happening, and I'm learning more and more and more. I'm able to sit there and really learn and learn and learn, because I'm not driving to my sister's anymore. I'm not doing any of that, and I even lightened up on the catering a little bit. So I'm home studying and studying and learning and learning and learning, and then next thing I know, I'm out here. And right now, it all just came to me, you guys. It all, here I'm crying about seeing the demon of David Cassidy, right? And my spirit was hurt. Like, I was hurt inside for seeing that, right? And so I got up and got away from the computer for a second. And then all of a sudden I saw when my brother said that to me. And then it took me back to the accident. And then it took me back to the Father showed me, by the time I went through the whole scenario, the Father was showing me that he kept Jeremy home that day. He allowed the accident to happen so that I would stay home and stop working out with my sister, because I was feeling prideful. I could lift up like 75 pounds, where 6 months before that I couldn't even lift up a crate of dishes. That's why I started working out with her. I was very weak, but I was getting prideful. I was getting strong. I was getting really in shape and thinner, and just everything, and I was feeling really good like that, kind of prideful. Well, he stopped all that, kept me home, and continued teaching me even more and more at an exponential rate, and then until we moved out here. Had none of that happened, I probably wouldn't be here. I would have still been working out with my sister, and I would have a completely different life right now. But right now, because I was really hurt about seeing the demon, and because I just wanted to show you that they dance alike. I wasn't trying to look for no demon, right? But when I saw it, I just felt like I was attacked. And so the Father was showing me there's a reason for doing all of this. He has a reason for everything that he has, as people do. Because I know, I've seen people that I'm almost positive are real prophets or prophetess, And because there ain't just one out there. Sorry, there's not just one. But I've seen real ones. And I can imagine what they go through, having to see what they see and then try to tell us about it with a straight face. Some can do it. I don't know how, because it's hard. Maybe I'm just really sensitive. But when I walked away from the computer, the Father brought me back to my brother calling me that thing, or saying that thing about the pills, and then he brought me back to the accident. And I mean, it all happened really fast right now, you guys. It was like boom, 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 and then all of a sudden I had understanding. It was all for you. I did it for you. Keeping Jeremy home, letting the accident happen. Your brother saying that thing to you, the doctors, and then getting you out here so I could teach you. I needed to keep you home so I could teach you, because you weren't going to stop on your own. So I had to cause it to happen, or allow your life to move on and allow the accident to happen, as opposed to protecting me. Because I've been protected my whole life, y'all. I can tell you instances where I should be dead right now, and by hands of other people, and I'm not, because the Father protected me. Anyway, I wanted to share that with you, because I was just crying like a baby on that video, and it's only a few seconds, but I mean, it was longer than that, but all you heard was a few seconds. But it really bothered me. So the Father was showing me, this is why. This is why. Alright, I just want to share it with y'all. Thanks for listening. I love y'all so much. Shalom.